Today we have a breaking news story that will change most of America's thinking. Just yesterday, the small town of Azeville was hit by an impressive 50-feet tsunami, and many houses, food trucks, and stores were washed away. We have found many survivors, but rescue boats are still searching for Bob and his shaved ice stand. His shaved ice stand was splendid, and it was a 5-star stand as well. Let's wish the best for Bob. Next to our story, 2 scientists by the name of Esther and Zach have decided to change the world with a life-changing discovery. I'm no scientist, so I cannot explain much about what they have uncovered, so talk to them after a commercial.
And now, at your nearest Shop Mart, get the newest and best poncho there is. Get ready for the tsunami that is headed towards Azeville. This poncho will keep you dry even in the worst tsunamis. It is sealed tight to keep all the water out. It is not only beautiful, but extremely useful too. Buy now because supplies are limited, so act fast.
Thanks so much, Abby. So me and my assistant, Zach,
Hi.
have always pondered about earthquakes and tsunamis. After the dreadful tsunami on Azeville, Zach and I went into scientist mode. But before we show our experiment and the discovery, my assistant Zach will explain the tsunami and its effect.
It was dreadful, Esther. I mean, it was already such a small town, and then the tsunami had to wipe out everything and everyone. It was horrible. Luckily, we have found everyone that was in the town. We only have to find Bob and his shave ice stand. His shave ice was so good because it had strawberry. Anyways, the tsunami was about 50 feet tall. The magnitude of the earthquake was 6.1 on the Richter scale. As many people know, there are different types of earthquake waves, and that got me thinking, Esther. Thinking what type of waves were caused by the different tsunamis. This brings us to our experiment.
Thanks so much for that awesome description, Zach. So me and Zach want to simulate earthquake waves and see which type of earthquake waves create the biggest tsunami. My hypothesis was if we model P waves, L waves, and S waves using a wooden board, and then measuring the height of the tsunamis, then the L waves will create the tallest tsunami. We made a fake town, and here it is. If you would like to know how we made this, stay tuned until the end. We will show the link to the website. As shown in the diagram, S waves, otherwise known as secondary waves or shear waves, move in a squiggly-like manner. These type of earthquake waves are known to be horrible earthquakes. If you think about it, the land is being moved up and down, therefore buildings and other objects will become unstable. The next wave we will demonstrate is this. L waves, otherwise known as love waves. And no, we do not love these waves. These waves move in such a way to where they push up against each other with such force to the point where they push past each other.
P waves are similar, although P waves push up against each other. They do not have as much force as L waves.
Thanks for clarifying that up, Zach. Now, as he was saying with the P waves push together, but they don't move. P waves can also stand for pressure waves. With a short description and the name, P waves are pretty self-explanatory. Now we have to test them. We are using a paddle to simulate the earthquake waves. This is how we simulated the earthquake waves. So we have filled up our water to where it reaches 1.5 inches, and we are using a paddle to first demonstrate an L wave.
It looks like it's about an inch high at the highest, and lowest is 1/2 inch.
Okay.
Let's looks like we have some rain. Yeah, it's getting pretty consistent at 1 inch. Well, the highest was like 1.5 inches.
So what was the measurement?
The highest was about 1 inch, or it was 1.5 inches, and the lowest was about a half an inch.
The average is 1 inch. We will now demonstrate an S wave. What's the highest? The highest is...
The highest was about 2 inches, and the lowest was about half an inch.
Okay, the average is about 1.5 inches.
Mhm.
Now for the pressure wave. What's the highest?
The highest was about 1 inch, and the lowest was about half an inch.
And the average is about 3/4 of an inch.
Mhm.
We used this paddle and it worked very well. As you can tell, the S waves and the P waves tied for the highest waves. My hypothesis proved to be incorrect. In our research, it was proven that L waves can actually last longer and cause more damage.
Although we were wrong, we have made a great discovery. We discovered that L waves were the most destructive. How, you ask? Well, although the L waves are not very high, they travel the farthest. Along with the research we did, it is safe to say that L waves are the most powerful.
In these two examples, you can see that the L waves travel the farthest, farther than the S waves and the P waves. In this example, same thing. They last longer. Scientists all over the world have made this conclusion that L waves are stronger, but now we have proved it. We hope that this will help people predict tsunamis easier, because with hurricanes, people are able to get a nice good heads up. With tsunamis, it's a little bit different. Military boats are out at sea doing their best to track tsunamis. What most people don't realize is that a tsunami doesn't grow to its huge size until it gets closer to land. Therefore, when boats are out at sea, a tsunami wave could pass under them and they wouldn't even know. If you boogie board or surfboard, it may be easier for you to understand. According to National Geographic, a tsunami may be less than a foot in height on the surface of the open ocean, which is why they are not noticed by sailors. But the powerful shock of energy travels rapidly through the ocean, as fast as a commercial jet. Once a tsunami reaches shallow water near the coast, it is slowed down. The top of the wave moves faster than the bottom, causing the sea to rise dramatically. If you are surfing, you usually go far out. Sometimes you might go too far out to where there aren't any waves. If you go closer, then you might notice the waves getting bigger. It's the same concept. As said above, once the wave slows down, it gets taller. Well, that's all we have to say for now, Abigail. Thanks for this amazing opportunity to share our knowledge with the world. Everyone, stay tuned, and we'll be back. Well, Zach, I think I'm going to go see if Bob is all right.
Looks like Bob is safe and sound. Well, this is all ending happy. But before we go, here are some tsunami safety tips. First, if you feel a strong earthquake and you are on or near the beach, get to higher ground right away. Second, if you see the ocean receding rapidly, get to higher ground immediately.
Stay tuned for more news on AZville and breaking news on HJ Zoo with the Dragonfly, Wild Titello, Cooper Pillar, Valaru, Good Af, and Cord Elephant loose. It can get really crazy out there, so watch your step.